welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV here in front of Thruntier for our Redmage quest, so not in Modona. Anyway, how's the training, my friend? I imagine you have grown quite accustomed to the shift between spellcraft and swordplay by now. Kinda. I will continue to instruct you, but as I've said before, practical experience will serve you far better than any tiresome lecture. It is important that you treat every battle as an opportunity to learn. Speaking of which, Father Illot mentioned he had something he wished to discuss regarding our sigil-branded ambushes. Let's head inside, shall we? I'm ashamed that it did not occur to me earlier, but I recall an incident that may be connected to this dreadful cult. A merchant's son was kidnapped in Uldar some moons ago. When the merchant came forth to pay the ransom, however, both father and child were murdered. The perpetrators of this terrible act were never unmasked, but evidence at the scene suggests the two were slain by thaumaturgy. What is more, this merchant was a native of Alamigo. Is this not also true of the father of the girls you rescued? Aye, he is an Alamigan born, a man by the name of Wilkin, so his wife told me. Could he have been the true target of the kidnappers? We must speak with Master Wilkin at once. There are too many similarities in these cases to ignore, and I would not put it past this cult to make a direct attempt on his life. In anticipation of such action, I inquired after Master Wilkin's trading itinerary. It seems he is presently conducting business at the Mandeville Gold Saucer, delivering stock for game prizes or some such. Very resourceful of you, father. Thank you. Come, Sylvania. The Gold Saucer waits. I don't know. It must have been weeks, months since I've been in the Gold Saucer. This game offers too much to spend it on mini games, really. It's at least my feeling for it right now. Maybe someday, but I'm currently just not interested in the Gold Saucer. My apologies, Sylvania. I neglected to ask if you were a patron of these halls. But we are here now, and Master Wilkin is still occupied with his trade. I'm tempted to eardwarfs on his dealings to learn what manner of man we are saving. Let us play the part of happy gamblers and wander by his meeting in the Mandeville Lounge. Just look for the wonderfully hideous golden statue. Upright. Yes, there's a gold statue and boxer shorts. A statue of the owner of this casino, Godbert Mandeville. There's our Master Wilkin. Thank you. We'll make the most of his gift, I promise you. Back straight and head up now, lad, or folk will become suspicious. You've done not wrong, besides the coin is fair gotten and freely given. The young man he's talking to, he's known to me. One of the lads belonging to the Alamigan Resistance, if I'm not mistaken. Well, this is clearly more than some simple business deal, but why waste time on suppositions when we can speak with a merchant himself, huh? Where's he? Ah, where he spawns. Mr. Serenia, Master Thrun, glad I am for this chance to thank you in person for the kindness you have shown my daughters. Father Illith said were to expect you. He also mentioned that the danger to my family is not yet past. You suspect that I have been marked for assassination? Aye. Have you any idea of the why? Say, retaliation for funneling funds to the Alamagan resistance under the guise of standard business dealings? I thought as much. I recognized your client as one of the young freedom fighters I'd seen in Giarbania. Oh, rest assured that your secrets are safe with us. I myself have spent the better part of my life aiding the resistance. Your dealings do, however, seem to have drawn some rather unpleasant attention. Very well, you saved my children's life, and so I will trust you with the truth. Many Alamigan refugees are employed here at the Gold Saucer, in no small part due to the wishes of the establishment's owner, Lord Godbert Mandeville. As I said, the man in the statue here. Several of these employees have direct ties to the resistance, the young man you saw being one such conduit. As to why I meet them here, well, it is a matter of hiding the trees within the forest. There was another incident not so long ago, where the son of an Alamigan-born merchant was kidnapped by a cadre of mages. When the father attempted to pay the ransom, the fiends slew both parent and child. I fear this scenario was one they hoped to repeat with you. Yes, the terrible turn of events that was. I did not know the merchant personally, but I knew of his efforts. He too was said to have supported the resistance with a fortune he made in Ul'dah. And there we have our connection. They seek to eradicate resistance sympathizers. I sense the hand of the Empire behind this cabal. But the assassination themselves favor magic, so they are unlike to be native Gallians. The puppeteer would very well be a hired killer, or mayhap a recruit from a subjugated province. We shall learn the truth in due time. For now, however, we must take steps to keep you alive. Lord Mandeville is a member of the Syndicate, and the Gold Saucer is his domain. Striking at me here would be difficult, to say the least. I do, however, have a pressing business to attend to in Vesper Bay in the coming days. Vesper Bay, huh? Given its peculiar approach, I can think of a dozen places from which assassins could stage an ambush. Might you entrust your safety to Serenia and me? Together, we will prove more than a match for any ambushes, and would also afford us greater insight into our foe. You certainly appear capable. I gladly accept your protection. When it's settled, let us travel ahead to Vesper Bay and scout out the area. Another advantage for the merchant is we are both more capable and less expensive than hired guards. Good, you're here. Master Wilkin has begun to his overland trek from Ul'dah. Before he left, I asked a good merchant to discuss his travel arrangement with less than his usual discretion. Assuming the assassins have eyes and ears on their target, we can assume they will have moved to occupy the most favorable ambush sites. Now, if I were intent on murdering a lone traveler, I would choose one of two options. The first being the allies here in Vesper Bay, and the second being the long dark tunnel leading into the town. I propose we split up and secure both areas. I will take the back streets and you can have the old mining shaft. Sweep the tunnel clean of ambushes, then meet me back here when you're sure the route is safe. There are assassins, as we had expected. Yay, a healer helps me. Thank you, healer. As I said, only somewhat gotten used to this job at this point. Thank you very much. Okay, now you found some too, yeah? Defeated their ambush, did you? Well done. As you can see, they had a second group waiting in the wings. Your opponents were the same mute attackers as before, yes? I pity these cursed pawns, but we cannot let mercy stay our hand. They are a little different from the walking dead, and no art can restore them. I did, however, allow one to escape my blade. Why? On purpose, of course. He seemed eager to disengage, and so I obliged him. He limped off toward the coast, and with the wound I gave him, he'll not have fled far. I will track this last assassin to his destination. Pray remain here and greet Master Wilkin. He should be arriving through your secure tunnel any moment now. Mistress Serenia, here I am, and with nary a scratch upon my person. My deepest thanks. You have saved my family, and for that I can never truly repay you, but I must at least try. Pray, share this gift with Master Swoon. My supplier will be waiting, and so I must take my leave of you. May Nald enrich you and bless your endeavors. So, where is he? We had a stroke of luck. The man I followed leapt into the sea and was fished out by others in a rowboat. I last saw them waiting for a merchantman anchored out in the bay. Considering the absence of fear, I must assume the one who fled had been commanded to report the outcome of the ambush. If we can identify the ship, then we will be one step closer to unmasking this vile puppeteer. And then we can... another token from the esteemed Master Wilkin? How kind that he sees to reward us. But there's a note here as well, addressed to us both. You have my eternal gratitude. Twice now has my life been saved by Redmages, and twice by one in particular. Mayhap you remember the day, 20 years ago, when the Crimson Duelists fought to save the life of a child. I remember you, Master Swoon, for your scarlet garb was forever etched into my memory. 'Tis a strange feeling to be recognized for decades-old deed. Had he not known me, would he have been so ready to place his life in our hands, I wonder? Aside from a few wrinkles, I suppose I have changed little in my appearance. I was clothed thus when we worked to evacuate our fellow Alamegans, even as the homeland we knew crumbled around us. But in the end, it is the lives that matter, not the place. Regardless of the circumstances, a Redmage must strive to achieve the greatest good. So I've always believed. Our actions are our own reward. But a little acknowledgement does wonders to sustain one's faith, huh? Okay, a little cut for... in a moment we are back with level 54. I've asked some friends of mine in the Science of the Seventh Dawn to keep an eye out for that ship. We should know if the assassins seek to enter any of the major ports. Ah, my Lanocean contact. Hi, this is Rune. And they're still there? Excellent. Thank you. It seems the assassin's merchantman has been spotted sailing into Aleport. Come, we have no time to lose. because I'm still not super rich, I take the somewhat cheaper way of going by ship. First to Limsalominster and from there to airport from with a ferry. Okay. Now, Swoon. Where are you? My apologies for dragging you halfway across the realm, but I did promise you a journey. Now, as for the merchantman, I'm told it's anchored a short distance offshore. We need to know more about the connection between this ship and our foe. They may have simply paid for passage, but there's something about that vessel. I say we wander the port and see what gossip there's to be had. Merchantman was just set in? Don't know bugger about it, not even the bleeding name. All I know is their crew is about as lifeless as a cabin full of corpses. It ain't natural. There's a rumor going around that the Yellow Jackets are taking an interest in their dealings, so I'd rather keep me distant anyway. I have finished answering your questions, now off with you. Nameless, and not much to tell about that ship. They say she's a trading vessel which brings goods from Razatan, but her crew's a sullen lot. Asking a friendly question about what they was hauling got me naught but blank stares and silence. That ship's not but trouble, but you mark my words. I've mates what swear they've seen her pulling alongside Imperial vessels. Only the gods know what's hiding in that hold of ours. Could be weapons, could be prisoners. Just the bleeding sight of her makes me whiskers twitch. Whiskers? Was that the Mikote? I couldn't tell from the distance. Were you able to learn out of interest? Strange crew, mystery cargo, ship's name unknown. I heard much the same. I'm beginning to think that our assassins use the vessel as a floating base. With no permanent camp on land, it would certainly be easier to avoid the attention of local forces. Not to mention curious adventurers. I also spoke with an acquaintance in the Yellow Jackets, and he confirmed the ship's official status as a trader to and from Razatan, even if rumors of her dealings with Garlean agents in open water are rife. As long as the merchantman appears to trade within the law, however, the officials are reluctant to force their way on board and cause an incident. We have yet to uncover enough evidence, it seems. Well, if a solid reason to investigate is lacking, then perhaps we should help them find one, huh? Let's have ourselves a look in some of their crates on the docks. Just a little innocent curiosity is all. Okay. So, where's our mystery cargo? All's right with him? I've been peeking in the cargo here, but there's one box secured with a lock. Smashing crates open may be taking things a bit too far, I'm afraid. Yeah, that's a bit more of an innocent curiosity. That would be robbery, potential. If it's not something we know is illegal. Contains a cerulean tank of Imperial design. Attack us. I should really heal, but I won't. Okay, let's try that again. Thanks, Hellish the Divine. A bulky key falls from the assassin. How did your investigation fare? I found a veritable bounty of military supplies. Civilian tanks, imperial rations, imperial insignias on everything. The authorities will be most interested to hear of this, I wager. What's that you have there? A bulky key. Well, well, dropped by one of the ship's crew members, you say, and I just so happen to have found a most inconveniently locked box. I shall go and relay our findings to the Yellow Jackets. I'm sure you'll think of some use for that key of yours. A groan from the box. A girl? A girl? What? Where am I? You're safe. Was I sleeping in a box? What an odd thing for me to do. Does the girl have a name? Aria. Yes, that's it. That's my name. Or is it? It's a lovely name. Do you think so? Then I suppose it will do for now. And what does the girl call you? I'm Serenia. Serenia. I'll try to remember that. Thank you for letting me out. What happened here? Is Artemis? I found this girl in the box. And she's hiding behind me. This lass was inside the box. I might suspect a stowaway, but it was more likely she was kidnapped. The people who took you may be lurking nearby. We should probably put some distance. Come now, you needn't fear me so. Serenia, please say something reassuring, would you? Yeah, powerful mage would not be the right word when when she's clearly afraid of him. He's gentle as a kitten. He is? If you say so, Serenia, then I suppose it must be true. Well, we seem to have made a new friend. Let's see about arranging some lodgings for now, and we can discuss where to go from here. Are you coming with us? Then come. Huh. Did you find the girl? The poor girl was asleep within moments. The entire ordeal must have left her exhausted. As for the results of our effort with the cargo, I suggest we continue this conversation outside. I presented our findings to the Yellow Jackets, and the evidence was indeed sufficiently damning to spark a full-scale investigation. Regretfully, it appears the assassins caught wind of the coming storm. A squad of soldiers was dispatched to the docks only to witness the merchantman sailing away with all hands on board. Not quite the outcome we had hoped for, but at the very least we'll no longer find a warm welcome in Eorzea's ports. The other issue we face now is what to do with young Aria. Her breath carries a faint aroma that may account for her memory loss. I suspect she was subjected to a certain incense, which, when inhaled, can cloud a person's mind. The next step was likely to brand her with one of those vile sigils, and effect the permanent destruction of her free will. It was fortunate that you released her when you did. Arya remains muddled, but her condition should improve with time. And once her memories have returned, we can learn exactly who she is, and, just as importantly perhaps, the circumstances which led to her capture. Okay, but that shall be it for today. Next time, I think we return to Madonna and actually do the next main quest. Maybe? No, maybe. I think I just push a dungeon in before. Yeah. Anyway, whatever we do next time. Until then, I am Mace, and don't get lost.